And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw, and a very odd start to kick off the Raw heading into the Survivor Series. This is the final Raw before we head to New Orleans, and you see Team Raw is teaming together to take on the team of this hybrid team of the B Team and the Ascension. And now Daniel Bryan is hooked in the Yes Lock. And the Yes Lock is in, and Bo Dallas is tapping out, and just like that, the tides could turn in the elimination match this Sunday at the Survivor Series. And you see Curtis Axel. And now The Miz, Daniel Bryan's tag team partner, the other half of the Raw Tag Team Champions. And now Curtis Axel, who's trying to fight for his teammate's honor, who just tapped out to the LaBelle Lock. And now Miz with the kicks of his own. And now Miz through the ropes goes the Miz onto Curtis Axel. And now throws him across ringside, does the Miz, and Eric Bischoff, he's incensed, he's pissed off. A pissed off general manager we have here on Monday Night Raw tonight. He brought Braun Strowman, Nakamura, Miz, and Daniel Bryan together for them to team up days before the Survivor Series, to see how they'll coexist. And the running knee plus by the Miz. A knee by the Miz. And just like that again, it's 2 versus 4. And Team Raw is taking charge here. And you see Connor. Oh! And here comes the proficient striking of Shinsuke Nakamura. And Shinsuke Nakamura, he's definitely incensed when it comes to SmackDown Live. SmackDown were the ones that attacked him in the ring last week during his match against Andrade Cien Almas. And Andrade Cien Almas, he's set for a television championship triple threat match later tonight. It's a huge night here in Cohasset, Massachusetts. The Monday Night Raw before the Survivor Series, before we head to New Orleans for one of the biggest pay-per-view events of the year, as Nakamura now, puts the boot to the face and the good vibrations. Good vibrations to Victor, and Victor's in big trouble as the big guy on the other corner, Connor, wants to tag, and here comes the big guy of Team Raw, the Intercontinental Champion Braun Strowman, just tackling the claw. Is Braun Strowman, and has now Connor on his shoulder, and the running power slam. And there goes Connor. And the running power slam by Braun Strowman, and it's a 1 versus 4. And wait a minute, Connor now. Set Braun Strowman down. He knows that he's in trouble, but he might as well go down swinging. And Connor, oh my God, and Braun Strowman just lifts up a 300-pound man like a cruiserweight. And this is a battle between 2 of the biggest men on Monday Night Raw, Connor and Victor of the Ascension. Victor was just eliminated, and now it's just Connor. And now Connor bringing the fight to the Intercontinental Champion Braun Strowman. And now Strowman showing who's the real deal here. No, Connor has Strowman down though, and now Connor, and Strowman with a drop kick. Strowman hits a drop kick, and now tags in Shinsuke Nakamura. And now Now, oh, what an insecurity. Clapped him right on the back of his head. And now Nakamura's setting up. Nakamura's getting ready for the Kinshasa. Kinshasa by Shinsuke Nakamura. And now Nakamura lets Connor to his feet. Connor's on Dream Street right now. No, another Kinshasa. Clean sweep in the making as Team Raw puts away this hybrid of the B Team and the Ascension. And I think Raw is on the page that Eric Bischoff exactly wants them on. No tension between these four men whatsoever, but well, anything could change between now and Sunday at the Survivor Series. But for now, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the IC Champion, and Nakamura are coexisting. And there is Triple H. And Triple H was talking to someone in the office. I don't know who that was, but we're switching gears here as we get set for some women's action here tonight on Raw. As Lacey Evans is set to make her debut here on the Red brand. And we haven't really seen much of Lacey Evans. We've seen her in the Performance Center. We've seen her training, and now this is her big break. This is her big break here on Raw. And she is set to go one-on-one with the women's champion Charlotte Flair. So who was Triple H talking to in the office? Well, we don't know, because we know in the main event that Finn Balor is set to defend the Universal Championship against Dean Ambrose in that steel cage match. Triple H always has something under his sleeve, in his back pocket. And what is that? We are yet to find out. But wait a minute! Backstage, there's Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch has a disarmer on Charlotte. Becky has a disarmer on Charlotte. The disarmer's on Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch is coming. Wait. Becky Lynch, she attacked Charlotte Flair all the way back in the parking lot. Charlotte wasn't even ready for the match. And Becky, oh no, Becky looks like she's coming out here. And Becky Lynch is going to come out here. Is going to confront Lacey Evans here. After she just brutally attacked Charlotte Flair in the parking lot. Almost broke Charlotte Flair's arm into two pieces. But here comes Becky Lynch. Here comes the self-proclaimed man. And this Sunday she's set to go one-on-one with Charlotte for the Women's Championship. And what a resurgence this has been for Becky Lynch recently. Becky Lynch will be the first person to tell you that she was in catering. She wasn't really on TV. She wasn't really prominent in the women's division, and now she decided to take a stand. She decided to stand up for herself, and she decided to make her own path. And that path she made, that path has led her to the Women's Championship. As Lacey Evans, who's trying to make her own path as well, and I think Becky Lynch is going to take Charlotte Flair's place. She's going to take Charlotte's place here as she goes one-on-one against Lacey Evans, and try to go for some knife edge chops, and Lacey Evans brings Becky Lynch down with a lariat. But did Becky Lynch bite more than she can chew here? Huge knife edge chop by Lacey Evans, and now Evans shoving the knee right into the face, and it could be possible that this could backfire on Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch could suffer an injury. Becky Lynch could lose. Or Becky Lynch could be banged up to the point that she can't compete at the Survivor Series. Try to dig the foot right into the chest, but Becky Lynch sweeps her. Sweeps her foot from under her, and what a European uppercut by Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch this past Friday, this past SmackDown Live, we've seen, Becky Lynch drill Bayley's skull into the mat with that, pile driver variant. And now Becky sends Lacey Evans down, and she punched her ticket to the Survivor Series, did Becky Lynch. And now, what a leg drop. Follows it up with another leg drop. And Becky Lynch is going to take the place of Charlotte. Charlotte was supposed to be in this match. Charlotte was supposed to face Lacey Evans here tonight. She already requested to be in action last week on Monday Night Raw. But Stephanie McMahon said she pushed this match for this week. And this is what happens this week, is that Charlotte is out cold backstage. She might possibly have a broken arm as Becky Lynch replaces her. And she's stopping a mud hole into Lacey Evans right now. And the number one contender for the Women's Championship is getting down and dirty in that ring. And Becky Lynch, she's just relishing the moment. She's proud of herself. She's proud of the opportunity she's been taking here. But what a right hand by Lacey Evans. And a kick out by Becky. Becky kicks out. Knee right to the mouth. And Becky Lynch, she might just have some missing teeth after that knee right to the jaw. Becky sees it coming. Becky now, what a German suplex, does not let go. And what a lariat. What a clothesline by Becky Lynch. Almost clothesline Lacey Evans' head off. And what a forearm. And now Becky. For another forearm by Becky Lynch. And Lacey Evans is trying to crawl to safety, trying to crawl for some cover here. But I don't think Becky Lynch is going to let up as she's stomping the life out of Lacey Evans. And Lacey Evans, she's in real big trouble here. She's groggy. She's not cold. Brings her down though, does Lacey Evans. She has the wherewithal to do that. And now, kick right to the gut by Becky, but what a counter by Lacey Evans. And Lacey Evans tries to sweep Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch sees it coming. Drop kick, does not. Sees that coming, does Lacey Evans. And Lacey Evans hooks her up. What a counter. And the kick, and what a sequence. What a sequence from Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans. And hooks her up with the exploder. Hooked her up with the exploder suplex. And now Becky Lynch, now the number one contender for the women's title, stomping a mud hole into Lacey Evans. Stomping a mud hole into Lacey Evans. And now Becky Lynch. Trying to go for a right hand, and Lacey Evans clapped her right back. And the heavy hands of Lacey Evans. But wait a minute. That Omega driver sending Lacey Evans' skull into the mat. And Becky Lynch, like the snap of a finger, Becky Lynch puts away Lacey Evans. Drills Lacey Evans' skull right into the mat. And it's curtains. You can count to 1,000,000. My God, and you see the referee's reaction to it. Just drilling Lacey Evans' skull right into the mat with that modified pile driver. And Becky Lynch, no time for celebrating for the man. She has a microphone in her hand. And Becky Lynch promises to take what Charlotte has earned, to take what Charlotte has attained, to take what Charlotte has kept by her side for so many months, and that is the Women's Championship. A very ominous message from Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. And in the main event, Dean Ambrose will challenge the current Universal Champion Finn Balor in that steel cage match. It's a can't miss episode of Monday Night Raw. It's been a can't miss episode so far, and now it's even more can't miss because it is time for the triple threat match for the television championship, as Dolph Ziggler, the former television champion, the inaugural television champion, makes his way down the ring. And Dolph Ziggler, and I'm going to criticize for a couple of moments, but Dolph Ziggler, he kind of seems like a crybaby. Dolph Ziggler, he lost fair and square to Andrade Cien Almas. He accepted that. He accepted that he lost fair and square, but then he was beaten by this man right here, Tyler Breeze, and then he decides to, well, complain to the world that he needs to be in this television championship match. And Eric Bischoff admitted, he even said that Dolph Ziggler was never going to get that television championship match here tonight if it wasn't for Andrade Cien Almas walking out on fellow brand new roster member Shinsuke Nakamura when he was being jumped by SmackDown Live. So this match, this triple threat match, is basically happening on the fact that Andrade didn't help Nakamura last week when he was being jumped by Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, SmackDown wrestlers, when SmackDown wrestlers jumped over the barricade and they jumped a Raw wrestler. And Andrade just left them high and dry, left Nakamura high and dry. And since Eric Bischoff said, you know what, you should put your title on the line against both Tyler Breeze and Dolph Ziggler. And Tyler Breeze, he earned this opportunity. Tyler Breeze, he beat Dolph Ziggler, a former television champion, for this opportunity. He earned his opportunity. Dolph Ziggler, on the other hand, really didn't earn the opportunity. He really slithered his way in, pretty much lucked his way in to this triple threat match with Dolph Ziggler, if you want me to be brutally honest with you. And I don't think Dolph Ziggler's going to like what I had to say, but, well, I think it's true. He pretty much lucked his way through this triple threat match for the television championship. But nonetheless, Dolph Ziggler has proven time and time again that, well, he takes an opportunity and he runs with it. And this man right here is the example of what I just said. Taking an opportunity and running with it. Andrade Cien Almas, the television champion, is set for his first title defense against both Breeze and Ziggler. And there is his manager on the other side of him, Zelina Vega, the woman who probably could be credited for all of Andrade Cien Almas' success on the other side of his in-ring ability. Zelina Vega has been, well, booking his meetings, booking almost everything, has been negotiating everything when it comes to Andrade Cien Almas. They negotiated him coming to Raw. They negotiated him coming to the WWE. They negotiated themselves into a basically free television championship match a couple of weeks ago, a match where Andrade Cien Almas beat Dolph Ziggler. If it wasn't for that match, if it wasn't for that deal that Zelina Vega made for Andrade Cien Almas with Eric Bischoff, I'm pretty sure that Almas wouldn't even be on Monday Night Raw. And Almas, the SmackDown could use Andrade Cien Almas' talents. I'm pretty sure any brand could use the talents of Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. And Raw has the both of them. And you know, Eric Bischoff, as pissed off as he was last week, he's sure as hell happy to have Andrade Cien Almas on his brand. And you see Zelina Vega, she told Andrade Cien Almas to go get him, to bring home the gold. And she's walking up the ramp. Zelina Vega has walked up the ramp. She's went all the way to the back. And I think Andrade Cien Almas is going to fight this triple threat match alone here. And it's just going to be him, Ziggler, and Breeze. Just like it's always have been for the past couple of months here on Raw. When it comes to the television championship. Zelina Vega, Andrade Cien Almas' manager, has walked to the back. It's Andrade on his own here in this triple threat match. And Ziggler walks straight to Almas, but Tyler Breeze brings him down. Oh, and this is going to be a chaotic triple threat match between three of the best Raw has to offer. And now, what a snap suplex by Almas. What a snap suplex by Almas. And now, told you it's going to be a very hectic triple threat match. Brings him down. Does Dolph. And now, it appears that, Breeze and Dolph Ziggler are going to team up. Oh, but Almas. And this is exactly what a triple threat match is all about. It's all about the hectic, about its chaos. And how hectic it can get. And what a face buster by Dolph Ziggler. Could have broke the nose, could have broke the orbital bone. And a punch right to the gut. And now Almas with the right, but a back elbow right to the jaw stops Almas right in his tracks. And now Ziggler now, but no. Breeze finds a way to intercept himself into this madness. And now Dolph Ziggler, knee right to the sternum. And now Tyler Breeze, kick right to the side of the head. And there goes Dolph Ziggler. But I think Almas was showboating. Showboating for too long was Andrade. And knee right to the face. And now it's Breeze and Almas in the middle of this ring. TV title on the line. The original match we were supposed to have if it wasn't for Almas walking out on Shinsuke Nakamura. And now, what a forearm by Breeze. What a forearm by Tyler Breeze. And now the backstabber. Backstabber, 1, 2, no. Thought we had a new TV champion right there. In Tyler Breeze, and you know Tyler Breeze has been chasing the TV championship for so long. He's been chasing this title ever since its inception. I can't even say inception. And now, Almas, right to the face. And these hits are just even more brutal. And the repeated elbows to the jaw by Andrade Cien Almas. Knife edge chop, and he sends Tyler Breeze crashing. Sent Tyler Breeze crashing down, but there comes Ziggler, and that's the triple threat. Those are the triple threat rules. It's 3 guys. You can't keep your eye on one guy. Can't keep and just not keep your eye on the other one. You have to have eyes in the back of your head in a triple threat match. And now Almas rolls him up. Almas! Lifts him over his head. And Ziggler's down, but no. Breeze comes back to stop it. To stop the pinfall from happening. And remember, Tyler Breeze, he pinned Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler has pinned Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze has pinned Dolph Ziggler. And Almas has pinned the both of these guys. And wait a minute, Dolph Ziggler now. Into the corner goes Breeze. And just like that, like what I just said, you gotta have eyes in the back of your head. And Dolph Ziggler's proven my point time and time again of having eyes in the back of your head. And oh, there goes Almas in the corner. And oh, what a drop kick by Breeze. And Almas doesn't even have to be involved in the decision to lose the TV championship. And that is the most important part of a triple threat match. And here we go. And this is what's happening right now. Almas is not in the ring. Almas is not involved in the action right now. A pinfall can happen. A submission can happen at any moment. And Almas will not be there to break it up. But Almas is there up on his feet now as Tyler Breeze climbs up to the top rope. This does not look good for a dazed Dolph Ziggler. But oh, right behind him. Right behind him. And Almas assists Ziggler in a face buster from the top rope. And there goes Breeze. And here we go. Almas and Dolph Ziggler. Almas now. Oh, roll through. Oh, flattens Almas right in the face. Kick right to the gut. And now, what a rude awakening by Dolph Ziggler. Rude awakening by Dolph. And Dolph, what an elbow. Elbow straight to the heart. As now Tyler Breeze. Oh, big swing by Dolph Ziggler. Trying to go for a drop kick. Nobody home in this action. It's just too fast for me to continue. To continue on to it. And wait a minute. Wait a minute. Almas now. Almas has Breeze on his shoulder. Oh, what a German! Trying to steal a pin here. And oh, he's trying to steal it. And now Dolph throws him over the top rope. Throws Almas over the top rope. And look, he has Almas draped. And he drops him. Dropped Almas. And now, what a forearm by Breeze. What a forearm by Tyler Breeze. And now, what an atomic drop. Atomic drop, shades of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And now, knife edge chop after knife edge chop. There goes Dolph Ziggler over the top rope. Oh! There goes Dolph. And Dolph is not in a good position here. Dolph not in a good position here. Oh! Suicide dive. Suicide dive. And the Breeze on a Hurricane Rana through the middle rope. Hurricane Rana on Andrade seeing Almas through the middle rope. And Almas is on Dream Street. Almas is dazed. Almas is dazed. Almas doesn't know where the hell he is. Back. No. I guess he does. And what a drop kick. What a drop kick by El Idolo. And now Almas twists around. And what a neck breaker. What a neck breaker by Almas. And now the right hands. Oh. Right hands. And now Almas on the top rope. Moonsault. No, but the knees were bent. Knees were bent. And this is beginning to be, oh. This is beginning to be the part where ice can break here. No! Breeze landed face first on the outside floor. Splashes. And oh my God, there goes Almas over the top. And Almas now. Almas over the top goes, oh! Over Dolph Ziggler. Over Dolph Ziggler and Tyler Breeze. And Dolph Ziggler doesn't know where the hell he is. Doesn't know where the hell he's at. Dolph Ziggler's on Dream Street right now. Oh! And Almas hooks him up. No. Hammerlock DDT. Hammerlock DDT from the top. Hammerlock DDT from the top rope. Just like how he won the title. Just how he won the television championship. And he retains. What a triple threat match. And Andrade walks in cohesive. Television champion. And he sure as hell is going to walk out of Cohasset, the television champion. And what a hammerlock DDT from the top rope. He beats Dolph Ziggler. He pins Dolph Ziggler. But he beats both Ziggler and Breeze as he retains the television championship. What a victory for that man right there, Andrade Cien Almas. And Almas is beginning to become a star in the making here on Raw. What a triple threat match. And Almas beats, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No. Is he here? Is he in the building? He is! Probably along with Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates as probably the most richest people in the world. It's EC3. EC3. Ethan Carter III. And he's making his way to the ring. He's made his debut here on Monday Night Raw, and he's confronting Andrade Cien Almas. Confronting the television champion. And EC3 has not left his eyes off the television championship belt. And Almas is saying, come on, you want to fight? Let's go. Bring it. And I think EC3 is just giving Almas a reminder that EC3 is here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back on Monday Night Raw, and here is Cedric Alexander. It's Cedric Alexander. He definitely has a bone to pick with Elias. Elias has attacked, has assaulted Cedric Alexander on so many occasions over the past couple of weeks. Alexander last week just went up to Eric Bischoff's office and he said, you know what, I want a match. I want to fight Elias. And Eric Bischoff said, you know what, you got your match, Cedric. So Cedric Alexander is set to go one-on-one with Elias Sampson, the Drifter, here tonight on Raw. And Cedric Alexander, he's proven to me, he's proven to you, he's proven to everybody that he just isn't a cruiserweight. This isn't a pushover. That this guy could be something one day. He could be a future world champion. And Cedric Alexander, but a man that has really been down in the slump as of late. And he's took out all his anger on Cedric Alexander. It's Elias. And Elias, he told Cedric Alexander, you don't have what it takes to make it here on Monday Night Raw. And maybe Elias was speaking from experience. He was warning Cedric Alexander. He said, well, not everything is hoped up to be. Remember Shelton Benjamin a couple of months ago. Shelton Benjamin was on Monday Night Raw and he didn't like his position, so he quit. He told Eric Bischoff to his face, he said, I was supposed to have an opportunity at Gold and I never got it, and I quit. Shelton Benjamin quit to be on SmackDown Live, and this may be the same for Elias. Elias was here. He made his debut at SummerSlam. Nothing really big has come from Elias so far. He had a few matches with Shinsuke Nakamura. He's kind of been in the spotlight. He's kind of been in the ring. He's kind of been on Raw, but he hasn't really been as prominent And Elias maybe had given Cedric Alexander some advice. Raw's not prepped up to be, you know. But Cedric Alexander did not like that advice, and Elias didn't like the fact that Cedric Alexander wasn't taking his advice. And look at this, Elias now wants nothing to do with Cedric Alexander. You know Cedric Alexander wants his hands on Elias so bad. Elias has been sneak attacking him and cheap shotting him. And now he gets the chance to fight him one-on-one in the ring. And now Elias wants nothing to do with Cedric Alexander. And now Alexander has him in the neck lock. Alexander has him in the neck lock. He sends him down. And puts him in the chin lock. Does Cedric Alexander, preventing Elias from any escape. Now breaching away is Cedric Alexander with the chin lock. Elias now has to find a way out. It's a pretty unorthodox maneuver by Cedric Alexander. You usually see Cedric Alexander punching somebody in the face or flipping around in the ring, using his speed as an advantage, and that's exactly what's he doing. And Elias now wants nothing to do with Cedric again. But guess what? Guess what, Elias? Oh no! Elias moved out the way. Elias moved out the way in time and all. Elias sidesteps Cedric Alexander, and Alexander lands rib first on the outside floor, then face first on the ring post. And just like that, that's how fast a tide of a match can turn, as Elias now Irish whip it to the ropes. Goes Cedric Alexander, and what a clothesline by Elias. And just like that, the tide of a match can change. And Elias knows that. Elias has been in this environment. Cedric Alexander has now been in this environment. He was in NXT. He was over the world with Cedric Alexander, and now he's here. He has a home on Monday Night Raw, and he's going to take that home, and he's going to rebuild it, and a kick right to the chest to Elias. Kick right to the chest, and now Cedric Alexander right to the ribs. And what a splash, using his speed and using his agility to his advantage, and a kick out by Elias Sampson. The Drifter kicks out. And the Drifter now is trying to drift away to the other side of the ring. But Elias, what a counter by Elias, and just like that, again the tide shifts, and Cedric Alexander dropped like a stack of bricks. And look at the strength. The Elias, and oh my God. The military drop on the outside floor, and this does not look good for Cedric Alexander in the slightest. This drop, and again Elias using his strength, able to lift Cedric Alexander over his head, and it proves the point that Elias told Cedric Alexander that he's just too little. He right to the jaw, and again there goes Cedric Alexander to the outside floor. And the outside is no place you want to be, as Elias now is soaking the crowd's emotions, and a right hand by Elias, and Elias is experienced. Elias knows. Oh my God, just pulling the shoulder. Could have pulled the shoulder apart. And Elias now, what a knee right to the bridge of the nose. It's starting to get hard to watch here. Starting to get really hard to watch the way that Cedric Alexander has been thrown around by Elias across this ring. Knee right to the sternum. Knee right to the sternum. And now the Drifter stomping away on Cedric. Cedric Alexander now not in a good way, and another knee drop, dropping the knee on the bridge of the nose again. And Elias is just absorbing it, but look who's on his feet in time. It's Cedric Alexander, and now Elias is just trying to beat him down, trying to beat the living hell out of Cedric Alexander, but I don't think Alexander's gonna allow it. Ducked down. What a clothesline. And the nip up from Alexander. The nip up from Cedric Alexander. And now picks up Elias. Hooks him up. Hooked him up. What a suplex. The ability to lift Elias up and bring him down to the mat with that vertical suplex. And look at this, Cedric Alexander shooting the 3 right in Elias' face. And Elias doesn't play those games with the knee trembler and a kick out at 2 by Cedric Alexander. And you saw how Elias covered Cedric Alexander's mouth to prevent oxygen. That's one way you can beat your opponent, just like that. And try to go for the accent on nobody. Oh no. A fist was there, knocking at the door, as Cedric Alexander with the frog splash, paying homage to the late great Eddie Guerrero with a kick out at 2 by Elias. Kick out at 2. And now Alexander again, what an elbow, digging the elbow right into the black heart of Elias. Elias counters, and Elias has to go for a right hand, and he eats another right hand, and now he eats a backhand. Does Elias. And now Cedric Alexander. Alexander through the middle rope, kicking Elias straight in the face. Kicked Elias right in the face as Cedric Alexander now wants him to his feet. Alexander through the middle rope. Through the middle rope. And Cedric Alexander, he is proving to everybody that he just isn't a pushover. And now Alexander, so far on Monday Night Raw, he's been in wars with Braun Strowman, has been in wars with Akira Tozawa, and now he's in a war right now with Elias. And what a knee right to the jaw. Again, Elias, stiff, the ever so stiff Elias, and now Luthez press follows it up by straight right hands, and now Elias now, the drift away to Cedric Alexander, and Alexander kicked out at 2.5. And Elias can't believe it. Elias is stunned. Elias can't believe Alexander kicked out the drift away, and now Alexander just trying to crawl forward to break the distance. Oh my God! Spanish fly from the top rope. Spanish fly from the top rope. And come on! And this match ends on a low blow. And now Elias, sore loser Elias, didn't want to lose to Cedric Alexander. And now the brights and and this match has been thrown out. Cedric Alexander wins by disqualification, but I don't think that's the way Cedric wanted to win. Low blow, went low, did Elias, and now Elias throws Cedric Alexander right into the guardrail, and now Elias, and this is just going to be an assault. This is going to be a beatdown now of Cedric Alexander, and then on the outside, drift away on the outside, and now 3 weeks in a row, Cedric Alexander has been left laying by Elias. 3 weeks in a row, Alexander has been just left laying on the ground. By Elias. The dubious means, and another drift away. By Elias. We need help for Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and it's time for the main event as Dean Ambrose, 1/3 of the Shield, the former Universal Champion, is set to walk into that steel cage, structure, and he said he's going to make a man out of Finn Balor. Ambrose said that he's going to make a man out of Finn Balor here tonight in Cohasset, Massachusetts. This is the final stop before the Survivor Series for the Raw brand tomorrow night. SmackDown Live. It's the final stop for them. And then we're on our way to the Survivor Series as Dean Ambrose, he may be walking in the Survivor Series as the Universal Champion. And Dean Ambrose, the former Universal Champion, he said he didn't give a damn when he lost the Universal title. He said the thing that pisses him off about Finn Balor is the fact that, well, Finn Balor lied. Finn Balor was a liar. Finn Balor said that he was going to keep it down the middle. Him and Ambrose was going to fight. Whoever wins, they walk out and they're the better man. But the thing is, Gallows and Anderson got involved in that match at No Mercy, and Finn Balor decided to take an opportunity, and he ran with it with his Good Brothers. And that's the thing that Dean Ambrose didn't respect about Finn Balor. He said he doesn't respect Finn Balor, and Finn Balor said he's going to beat the respect into Dean Ambrose here. And as we await the Universal Champion, as we wait for the WWE Universal Champion to come out of the smoke, to come out of the shadows, and look what Finn Balor is wearing. Finn Balor is wearing all white. And remember last week, remember what Dean Ambrose said last week? Dean Ambrose said that you and me are going to be locked in a cage. There's going to be no Gallows. There's going to be no Anderson. There's going to be no Rollins. There's going to be no Reigns. There's going to be no Triple H. There's just going to be Balor and Ambrose inside that steel cage. Nowhere for Balor to run. And he told Balor, he said, Balor, you better be wearing a pair of your dark tights when you're in the ring with me. When you're inside the cage with me. But I think Finn Balor is going to challenge Dean Ambrose on that offer. Gonna challenge Dean Ambrose there, and he's gonna wear all white to a fight, to a bloodbath with Dean Ambrose. And Finn Balor, it's just one way that Finn Balor is testing the patience of Dean Ambrose. Time and time again, Finn Balor has tested the patience of Dean Ambrose. Finn Balor, the Universal Champion. This is his first Universal Championship defense. And it's here tonight in Cohasset, Massachusetts, in front of a sold-out crowd on the eve of Survivor Series for the Raw brand. It's Ambrose. It's Balor. It's for the Universal Championship. And look at that beautifully minted piece of gold here, created by Triple H, given to Finn Balor as a token for being a part of the Bullet Club, for beating Dean Ambrose, beating a friend of Seth Rollins. And you know how much Triple H resents the Shield. You know how much Triple H resents Dean Ambrose, how much he resents Seth Rollins, and now how much he resents Roman Reigns. And that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the Universal Championship here tonight. But I think it's going to tell a different story this Sunday at Survivor Series. It's not going to be about championships. It's just going to be about which faction is better than the other, as the Bullet Club is set to go 3-on-3 with the Shield at the Survivor Series. But tonight, it's not about the Bullet Club. It's not about the Shield. It's about two gladiators is about two men who are stepping in this cage. And now Dean Ambrose. Wait a minute, Ambrose now. Ambrose with right hands to Finn Balor. And now Dean Ambrose, a lunatic fringe, dressed up in the Shield gear, dressed up in all black, as Finn Balor, the opposition, dressed up in all white. And oh no, already! Not even 30 seconds into this contest, and somebody's skull has already been driven into the steel mesh. And that is that's just the extreme, the hardcore nature of Dean Ambrose. Ambrose, coming from a hardcore background, was in death matches before in his career, and Ambrose is going to take that experience and is going to put it in the steel cage against Finn Balor. And now this does not bode well for the Universal Champion, for the extraordinary man that can do extraordinary things. And now Ambrose with the chops and the fist. No, Balor sees it coming. Balor with the wherewithal to avoid it, and the knife edge chops slowing Dean Ambrose down, slowing Ambrose down, and now Balor tries to go for a kick. But now Ambrose. Oh, and Ambrose, what a lariat! Ambrose with a lariat and a kick out at 2 by Balor. What a clothesline. He turned Finn Balor. He turned Balor inside out. And now Ambrose. Oh, a knee right to the gut. Follows it up with another knee to the gut. And now Ambrose hooks him up. What a Russian leg sweep to Finn Balor, to the Universal Champion. And Dean Ambrose is on fire. And Ambrose could be a 2-time Universal Champion here if he manages. Oh, what a counter. And a Pele kick by Finn Balor. And Balor already trying to escape. Balor trying to find a way out. But Dean Ambrose not going to allow him. Ambrose not going to allow Finn Balor to. Face first. And this is going to be a brutal match between two warriors, between two of Raw's best. And now Finn Balor saying, come on, you want some? Come and get some! And Ambrose is exactly gonna do that. He's exactly gonna get some. And the right hand to Finn Balor. And just the symbolism and these guys' colors they're wearing tonight. Ambrose wearing all black, Finn Balor wearing all white. But Dean Ambrose, Finn Balor is far from an angel. In fact, he's a demon, and now, has a demon inside of him, and a knee right to the ribs sends Ambrose down, and what a Hurricane Rana. And now Ambrose on the receiving end of attacks by Finn Balor, and Finn Balor is looking to slow the pace down in this contest, and what a clothesline! What a clothesline by Finn Balor, almost took the guy's head off. Forearm. And this is when the steel cage gets even more dangerous. Not even when you're using it. It's the creativity that comes into mind when you're methodical. When you have a methodical pace and you're setting a methodical pace, the creativity begins to flow. You want to decide. You want to think about what you're going to do to your opponent next. And that's what Finn Balor is going through. That's what's going through Finn Balor's head right now. And Finn Balor, the feet right into the chest. And now Balor, he's climbing that chain link. He's trying to escape. He's trying to find a way out of here. And that's one way of winning the steel cage match. And again, face first. You can win by pinfall, you can win by submission, or you can win by escaping the cage. And now, and Ambrose just sends Finn Balor face first across the steel wall where there's no escape. And these two men are going to absolutely kill each other in here. And Ambrose now, right hands, punching the face of Finn Balor repeatedly. And you know Ambrose, he's wanted to do this for so long. Dean Ambrose has waited weeks upon weeks to put his hands on Finn Balor, to punch Finn Balor dead in his face. What a neck breaker by Dean Ambrose. And Ambrose again with the rights. Ambrose repeated again. And this is starting to get really hard to watch. Starting to get really hard to watch, ladies and gentlemen, my God. And Ambrose has one intention, and one intention only, and that intention is busting Finn Balor open, making Finn Balor bleed here. Making Finn Balor bleed, and now grabbing Finn Balor by his hair, and he sends him into the chain wall. Sends him into the steel wall, and Finn Balor now is just reeling. He's reeling. It's Finn Balor. And Balor saw it coming, and Balor with a headbutt. Balor using every part of his body to beat Dean Ambrose here, and what a sling blade. Sling blade, and you see the desperation of Finn Balor trying to get this match over with, trying to beat Dean Ambrose. Trying to get this match over with. Who's going to be 100% heading into the Survivor Series? Oh, is it going to be Balor or is it going to be Ambrose? Because you know this match is going to take a toll on both the winner and the loser. And Balor, just wrenching at the neck of Dean Ambrose. A slap by Finn Balor. Look at Finn Balor, he's mocking Dean Ambrose. He's telling Dean Ambrose to get angry. Get angry. And now, Ambrose with a clothesline almost took the guy's head off. Almost took Finn Balor's head off. And now the rights by Ambrose and a clothesline. Clothesline by Dean. And now Dean Ambrose. Oh my God, he can claw the eyes out. He's clawing the eyes out. Ambrose can claw the eyes out, and it's legal. It's absolutely 100% legal. And again trying to claw the eyes of Finn Balor. Again trying to claw the eyes is Dean Ambrose. And wait, what a European uppercut now. Enziguri by Finn Balor. Enziguri by Finn. And now Finn Balor again. But no. Ambrose shifts the tide. Smashing his face. 6, 7. No. Just smashing his face into the turnbuckle. And oh no. I think Finn Balor's busted open. And if it wasn't those smashes into the turnbuckle, it was definitely his face getting into that exposed steel. His face colliding with the exposed steel, and yeah, Finn Balor's busted open. And the rights by Dean Ambrose, and absolutely seeing red is Finn Balor right now. And Dean Ambrose said that he was going to do this. He said that he was going to brutalize Finn Balor like he never brutalized someone before inside the steel cage. And Dean Ambrose is on fire. Ambrose has wanted to do this for so long. And what a jawbreaker by Balor. Balor now. And another clothesline. And Dean Ambrose was rocked after that clothesline. Ambrose was rocked after that clothesline. And now Finn Balor. And he digs. He pushes Dean Ambrose's face into the turnbuckle, and now both of these guys are busted open. It's a bloodbath here in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Roll through by Balor. What a move. And a kick right to the face. And this has been a Universal Championship match. What a match this has been between both Balor and Dean Ambrose. Pele kick right to the face. Pele kick right to the face. Oh, and no, the knee right to the jaw. Ever so brutal by Finn Balor. 2, 3, no. No. Dean Ambrose, no quit in Dean Ambrose. Oh, drops the knee right onto that white knee pad. And is Finn Balor really regretting wearing all that white when both of these guys are bleeding? Both of these guys are shedding blood by the second. The blood rushing, pouring through the wound. And oh, what an X-Plex by Dean. What an X-Plex by Dean Ambrose. And a kick out by Balor. Back and forth. Steel cage match and digging the bionic elbow right into the skull. Right into the skull. And now lifts him up. Oh! Dropped him right on his head. Dropped him right on his head. Dropped Balor right on his head. He dropped Balor right on his head. And a kick out at 2. Kick out at 2. And now Ambrose is beginning to wonder. He's beginning to wonder what does he have to do to beat Finn Balor here. Ambrose on the top. Ambrose! Oh! Elbow drop. Elbow drop. Dirty deeds. Dirty deeds. Two-time Universal Champion. No, not yet. Not yet for the Lunatic Fringe. And wait a minute. We have cameras backstage. We have cameras in the parking lot. And oh, Rollins has him up. Rollins has Anderson up. Oh, and he sets him down onto the car. Set him down onto the car. Set him down onto the car. And now he's on the other side of the lock. There's the other side backstage. Other side of the arena. And Roman Reigns is speared. Gallows through the production box. The production box destroyed backstage. And now back on the other side of the arena. Inside the ring. Ambrose is climbing, but he doesn't know. He doesn't realize Finn Balor's up to his feet. And now Balor's calling for the door. Balor's calling for the door. Balor's calling for the door. Who's gonna reach to the? Who's gonna get down to the floor first? Is it gonna be Ambrose or is it gonna be Balor? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Ambrose so close, and no, Finn Balor. Finn Balor. Finn Balor retains the Universal Championship. He escapes through the cage door faster than Dean Ambrose could. Escaping through the cage door faster than Dean Ambrose could. And Finn Balor is still the Universal Champion. Balor is still the Universal Champion. And Dean Ambrose was not quick enough. He wasn't faster than Finn Balor here tonight. But there's nothing to take away from both of these guys. Nothing to take away from both Balor and Dean Ambrose. What a bloodbath. What a steel cage match. Oh, and a spear. Oh, and a spear by Reigns. Spear by Roman Reigns, and you knew that he was making his way to the arena. You knew he was making his way onto the ramp, and now it's Reigns and Rollins. It's Reigns and Rollins. Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut. Pedigree on the floor. And the Bullet Club has been dispatched here on Raw. The Bullet Club has been dispatched, and we are out of time.